Hi folks, Kelly Young of Dirigo Software here with another AR Pro 15 video. Today we're going to be talking about a very pivotal part of AR Pro, and that is the newly improved Project Manager. Project Manager is what you get to use to save your work. Save all the formulas that you are going to use for a particular recon. Now, I'm going to be shooting this video on an HD size screen, 1920 by 1080. This is so you folks can actually see what the program really looks like when you're going to be using it. A lot more room than the screens that I've been videoing before. And I apologize for anyone who's using a small screen on a phone for this. I highly suggest you watch this video full screen on your computer. Be easier to see. Also, this video is going to tie a lot of things together, especially for new users. And I apologize for current users because you know all of this stuff pretty much anyway. But I will be showcasing this is all centered around the Project Manager, its improvements, its new, easier workflow. Also, the way I have the program set up right now is if somebody, a brand new user, had just installed the program. So pretty much all of the options are turned on, and existing users will know what that means. All right, let's get to it and start the program. Gotta love that sound. When I was first starting to create this program back in 1993, actually is when I started, September of 1993. So this is kind of my anniversary month here for going down the AR Pro trail. But I was looking for a sound to play when the program started that would fit for an accident reconstruction program. Happened across that particular WAV file, and I've just been in love with it ever since. It was in my very first program that was released in April of '94. Accident Reconstruction for Windows was what it was called back then. But and it does get annoying after a few times, but no worries, you can turn that off in the options window. Okay, this window will start up when you first install the program. It's called the Startup Guide, and that's exactly what it is. For new users, it helps you to get going in the right direction. If you've just been assigned or hired to do a new recon and you want to get going, start a new project so you can save all of your work, this is the button you would click. If you've already done work on a particular project and you need to do some more, add formulas, change some numbers, etc., 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 you would click on this button. It would just open up the project manager, and then you can go to the case that you want to work on and go to work. If you just need to run a few numbers for whatever reason and you don't really need the project manager, this is the button you would click. Also, for new users, there is a selection here so that you can turn the startup guide on and off as far as it's starting with AR Pro. I suggest that you keep this on for a little while until you really get the hang of things, so you'll be quicker to get up and running. After you're familiar with the program, you absolutely can turn this off, or you can keep it on. Of course, the crash and siren won't. If you turn that off, that won't start up with the program to annoy you. Okay, so let's assume you're a new user and you've just been assigned or hired for a new project, and so this is the button we're going to want to click. So let's go ahead and start it. And what we have here is the project manager. For existing users, you'll notice that the navigation bar is up here now instead of being on the general info tab. Same thing with the case number, which was renamed from projects. It keeps track of the number of cases, number of projects you have in the database, and shows you which one you're on. Now, since this is a new project, the number 2 there is about to change. This is where you would start. You need, and the only thing I don't know if people know about this or not. The only thing you need to fill in here is the project name case number. So let's start with that. Project video, project manager video. How about that? Okay, now we have got a name in there. If you make a spelling error or whatever, go ahead and correct that or whatnot, because this entry here is about to go dark. It's about to be able to not be changed. To make it that way, to create a new case, once you have this name in here, you can either click on this button, which posts the changes, or you can click on any of these other tabs, and that automatically writes the data to the database. We're going to go ahead and post the changes, and you'll notice we're going to go 1 of 2 to 3 of 3. All right, so we're now in the last case that's in the database. And it goes by alphabetical order with whatever you type in here. Now, this is not changeable, and there's a really good reason for that. This database has 2 tables in it. There's one for all of the information here, and there's a second one that stores all of the formula information. Every formula you save goes to that table. And the 2 tables are connected together by, I just hit the wrong thing. They're connected by the project name case number. So if you were, let's say you had 10 formulas saved and you were able to change your case number, the second you change that case number, you orphaned and lose all 10 of those formulas that you had saved. So this is not changeable. Once it's in there, that's it. If you make a mistake and, well, I typed in the wrong case number, you misspelled something or whatever, you can always delete this, insert a new project, and start over. You'll also notice that this information has changed. This was something that was done a long, long time ago, especially if you're the only one. Well, this is under your username, so you should be the only one to do it anyway, but you can keep this information or you can change it. It's entirely up to you. And that's another thing. The only thing you absolutely have to have in a project or case is the name. You do not have to fill in anything else at all if you don't want to. This is what is important, because that is what, as I've already mentioned, these formulas will be linked to. You'll also notice that existing customers, you'll also notice that with the last few versions, there's been a selection down here to add calc formulas to project. And while that enabled me to get it so that you folks could save all of your formulas, it was complicated, too complicated. So that option is gone. Instead, you can save directly from each formula straight into the project manager. Whole lot easier to do, whole lot easier. All right, let's just go ahead and open up a formula. We've added what we need, and that's all we need. So let's just go ahead and go to work. I'm gonna open up let's say we just need a minimum speed formula here. And this is what we're gonna work with. It's a good demo. Okay, let's say we know our skid distance is 99 feet. You can also run an average skid distance formula and get that. And that will once it's calculated, you can automatically copy the results to here. And you can also, I'll show you that later. But we already know what it is. You can also calculate the acceleration drag factor. And if you'll notice, I should point this out too, see how your project name is automatically copied into these new fields, which I go over this in the formulas Windows video if you haven't seen that yet. But these are new for AirPro 15 so that you're able to keep this information right here. So you can calculate your coefficient of friction with all of these particular formulas depending on what you have for data, what the car or the vehicle was sliding on, etc. You can also copy, and once you're done, you can copy the results into this window right here. But we're just going to go ahead and assume you've got a 0.45. All right. So now we can calculate the formula. And automatically, because you have successfully calculated this, you are then able to add the formula to the project. Let's do some incrementation now. How about 0.1? We'll do 30 iterations, and we'll start at like 97.5 feet. Calculate. There's our incrementations. We got our answers. This is the formula we're using. And now you can add some calculation notes, totally optional. You don't have to do this, but most people do. And you do have 1,000 characters. So you can pretty much write a book in here, but you don't need to, obviously. Case numbers was automatically filled in for you, and report footer, whatever you want at the bottom of your report. There you go. Okay, so now let's add this formula. We're done. So let's add this formula to our project manager video case. Now watch what happens over here when I click this button. Bam, there it is. We got a minimum speed, slide to stop, assigned to project manager video. Again, if we were to change that name, this would disappear. It would be orphaned. So we can't. That's just part of the game here, folks. Okay. So now, what happens if you forget to open up the project manager video or project manager at the beginning? Let's try that. Project manager is closed. Okay, so you started working, you minimum speed, you say, oh no, I really wanted to do that, to open up the project manager, I can say that. So let's just go ahead and click it. Here we go. Here's the message. The project manager is not currently open. Shall I open the project manager now? Well, yes. Yes, you may. Now you're going to get another reminder to search for the case that you're looking for, or create a new one if that's what you need to do in the project manager. So in this case, we're working on one that we've already started. So I'm going to go ahead and search for that puppy right there. There it is. Double click it. There we go. We're back on case 303 project manager video. All right. Let's go ahead and preview a report. Preview this report. Now this is, a lot of folks don't really use this. This is a cover sheet. Just think of this as a cover sheet for your project, which you don't have to use. You can, but you don't have to. But that's that. Printing a report. Once you get whatever you have for, say, formulas, you can print this formula report for this. You can also automatically print this. Let's just try that right now. It's going to ask you, do you want to open and print all formula reports in the project? Yes. So now you're going to be faced with the print dialog. So you can select what printer you want to go to, number of copies, how many pages, etc., etc. My default printer is the Microsoft Print PDF, so that's what it's going to open. And here you would fill in the name, whatever you want, and save. I'm going to cancel that, and now it's going to open up the formulas. Start opening up the formulas. We only got one in here, so this isn't going to take too long. Here, again, and this is going to happen for every formula, it's going to ask you what printer do you want to send it to, copies. If you want to print it, just go ahead and hit OK. In this case, we're just going to cancel out of it, and it won't print that formula. If we had 10 formulas in there, it would open all 10, give you the chance to either cancel it. Say you've got a formula that you were just playing with numbers with. You can type in down here, don't print or whatever, so it will remind you later. So you can just skip it. You just hit the cancel button. It'll open up the next formula and continue on down the road. Very convenient, very easy, etc. All right. So you can pretty much see that this is going to become an extremely important aspect of your reconstruction, in that this is where your reconstructions are saved. That's important. That makes this your bank vault for your business, for your reconstructions. So we need to protect that bank vault. So now we're going to talk about backing up the database. Something I've done, and part of the reason why it's been so long before this video was put out, is I've added an option in the options window to where you automatically back up your program manager, your project manager database. This will, every time you start your project manager, you do your work, and then you close your project manager. With this option turned on, which is how it is set up when the program is first installed, this will automatically save your database every time you shut down the project manager. So, okay, well, where is it going to save it? Well, that's the answer is right here. You select where you want your project database to be saved. For me, I use Offsite, my Microsoft OneDrive that comes with Office. That way I know that I'm going to be safe if the building burns down, my computer is wiped out. Those guys in the police departments, I don't know how many times I've gotten panic messages from folks saying overnight the IT department came in and gave me a new computer. Took without warning, without letting you know anything. They just took your computer and, hey, you got a new computer. Hey, all of your stuff is gone. This would come in handy. If at all possible, save your project manager database someplace off site. So I have mine set to OneDrive, Documents, and I would set the folder right there. And you can do a test. You can just do a backup, and off screen it says file successfully backed up. That's just a Windows notification. We call it a toaster notification because it pops up like toast. So this is new. You set it and forget it. If there's ever an issue with it backing up, you will be notified that the project manager database did not successfully back up. So then you can investigate why. If something's offline, say you've got it set to a network drive somewhere and that's offline or whatever, it's going to let you know your work was just not saved. So then you investigate and then you can fix it, back up your database. Can't stress that enough, folks. Back up your database. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Just don't. Now, I have to mention, when the program is installed, because there's no way for us to know what kind of a setup you have and if you have OneDrive and all of this stuff. The project manager database is set to save to the public documents folder, which is better than nothing, but it does not protect you if your computer dies, your building burns down, someone breaks in, steals your computer. That's happened. I've had folks who had laptops taken out of their cars, stolen from their cars. That's not pretty. And let's see. That's pretty much the ballpark, folks. Of course, you got all of your tools that you can use, all of that stuff. It all goes in together. But this is the vault. This is the pivot point for everything. If you need to save your data, it's so easy now. It's so easy. That add calc formulas to the project is gone, thankfully. And you guys are going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it. This is so much quicker and easier to use. It's just not even funny. With that, that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below or contact me directly, and I'll try to answer what I can. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.